Then we can just heal up, and let's do this safely, shall we? Don't stop till we get some experience this time. Not quite. David accepts your kill. There we go. That's what we wanted to see. Oh me, oh my. It just continues. My, oh my. Let's get some of our potions ID'd. They're the berserk potions that would have been a death sentence earlier. Good to know. And so yes, a frost giant, eh? I mean, as long as not all of these ugly things are white, you will not shoot your cold through them at us. So that's kind of nice. Probably in just about the ideal position here at the end of the day. I guess we could Mephitic Cloud and try and confuse some of these buddies into slapping each other. That's always nice. Otherwise, nothing targeted I can really do against the Frost Giant, I guess. Let's double check that. Anything piercing? Not really smiting. I guess Fulminant Prism here might not get destroyed before it has a chance to charge. Yes, yes. Oh, there are two Frost Giants. Hello, my friends. Nice to see you here. These buddies are hitting slightly harder than I'd like. I guess we could drink a resistance. We have 4 of them. Now is actually probably our best bet. Almost should have done it a little bit earlier here so we didn't take quite as much damage. Also, these Frost Giants, in a similar note, not taking quite as much damage as I would like. Let's see, let's try and get them confused as well. And again. There we go. That time it did at least work, and then we can LRD to get some extra damage. You're the confused one, so that's lovely. Of course, there's always more. Why did I ever have hope? Okay, so we have to be careful here not to use too much of our mana, but try and confuse you one more time. It does not work, unfortunately. That's a shame too bad, but we're getting real close to just killing you. We do have that resistance potion active right now, so I'm tempted to blast you there. Keep running away in our own time. I'm going to back myself into a corner, which generally, sketchy, bad idea, but it saves us the extra damage from the Frost Heart, so that's kind of what I'm focusing on at the moment. And you're not vulnerable to fire, are you? Yeah, so 2d9 is not exactly going to be making much of a dent. I guess I can use another acid charge. And what else can we do here? Curari is probably actually a good idea. And last but not least, would I rather have OTR or one of my blasts? Most likely just IMB to keep this son of a gun off of me. Hey, Den Brandy, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic weekend. Thanks for dropping by today. Yeah, okay, that didn't exactly do as much work as I'd like. Can I paralyze you? That's actually decent odds. I'll take that. Okie dokie. Well, we're somehow making it through this as well, so that's fantastic. I know, me oh my. A File of Floods. It's exactly what we asked for. That's what we had on our Christmas list this year. Berserk Rage Potions, you can go. Okay spells, but nothing too incredible. But more over here. Okay, never mind, same thing. File of Floods, though, I definitely want to add into our collection of goods here. I made the classic mistake of not emptying out some of my inventory before coming into the ice caves. I mean, I can drop Ring of Fire Resistance. We have a lot of sources of fire resistance right now. In fact, if we look it up to see what's available outside in the dungeon, Layer 5 has one, so that can go for sure. Makes life a bit easier, and then we'll do some more internal calculus if it ends up being necessary. But hopefully we can just take everything else we want in life out with us. Oh, my polar friend. That sword is almost as good as the elemental staff. You're not wrong, yeah, the resistance side. I wish it also gave AC, but I have to admit that that's probably asking for a bit too much from a random artifact, so I'll be happy with what we've got here. Okay, only being next to one wall is probably good enough for fighting a couple of Frost Hearts. I'd have to take a step if I try and Fulminant Prism here. I guess there's no real safe space besides kind of behind everyone, but that's not exactly what we're hoping for. You know what? I'll stand next to... Oh, never mind. Scratch that. I was going to say that I was willing to stand next to 2 walls to let the Fulminant Prism go off, but unfortunately not quite enough damage. And, do I dare use another resistance potion here? I definitely should have just called their attention and ran away a bit more, I feel. Probably would have been playing it a bit safer. I guess we could Fear Scroll, and that gets rid of these 2. You know what? I think I will. Just to make sure that we stay in one piece here for the time being. Kill at least one of the Frost Hearts, and then we can just gain some attention to ourselves. Kill the other Frost Heart, and bring the ugly things on a nice little jaunt here. Just a nice walk and journey through the park. And let's see, start there, and then as soon as we see multiple targets, LRD is much more mana efficient. Beauty. Oh, whoa, how'd you get in behind us, friend? That could have been very bad. Making too much noise with our Fulminant Prisms earlier and apparently just shook the hornet's nest and the monsters were crawling everywhere. Not exactly ideal, but hey, doing okay now. Hopefully those Frost Hearts are the end of it, and they were. Oh boy, fantastic. Hey, Startup Polemic, how's it going? Gaming is going pretty well today. We've managed to escape by on the skin of our teeth in a totally undeserved fashion and survive what should have been almost guaranteed a death, so that was lovely. And now we're just back in the swing of things and hoping that we don't run into too much more of that. I can't afford the stress. My poor heart just couldn't take it. Okie dokie, running into Azul. So I was originally kind of hoping to use the Foul Floods against Nicola in Shoals 1. But if we do feel like we can kind of continue to go through Snake Pit a bit, then I probably should just cut my losses here. Let's quickly splash down some water, go statue form to give us some better defenses, and then I think LRD is kind of our best bet for damage at the moment. Yeah, it's looking like it. So let's just blast this son of a gun a few times. That's real close to dead. And that is dead. Fantastic. Going for 15 runes or a short run? Oh, just a short run on this character for sure. No, we've been struggling a bit too much with Deep Elf. Through a mixture of my own ineptitude and some really rough luck on a couple of the characters. We've been stuck here for a while, so I'm definitely just going to cash my check as soon as we're able to. At some point I'll have to do an extended run again, especially to try out like the new Hot Hells and everything. It'd be a lot of fun. But for the time being here, what do we wish to do? Don't have any magic we're currently trying to learn, but evocations, always nice to give it a couple levels, and then let's take a look and see if there's anything that might sway me to potentially learn some more spells. I guess even putting on spell casting for a bit, just to give us some more spell slots might be nice. And again, not too much, just a little tad. Aw, yeah, no, sorry about that, Dan, but don't you worry, it will happen sometime in the future. And what's funny is that normally Deep Elf would actually be one of my more preferred characters to go on a 15 runer for, because anyone with good spell aptitudes where you can just become the absolute beast mode blaster caster that we all aspire to be in our lives is always a good start, but I'm definitely in a little bit of a jaded headspace when it comes to deep elves at the moment. It's based on how things have been going the last while here. Well, let's just use LRD for old life's problems, shall we? Not too shabby here. You, on the other hand, probably don't need LRD. I guess we almost might as well have used it there. It didn't end up being too functionally different from just I'm being our way to victory, but that's a-okay. What did we have excluded here? That was just an Ukla plant? I mean, we don't have corrosion resistance. Oh wait, but we can also completely cheat the system. What am I thinking? So I would like to see what this spellbook is. So we hop in here. A little bit closer. Ah, I see. It's like, almost like they knew. Well, in that case, I'm actually gonna just step across here, and then we can cheat the system. And just one more time. Oh, no. Now just one more time? There we go. Fantastic. Should be the only buddy there. Some canine familiar. Probably not going to make the cut if we're being honest, but I appreciate it nonetheless, game. And 3 scrolls of vulnerability. Not ideal, but not too shabby here. Okie dokie, we're definitely making some forward progress. Full steam ahead here. I think I'll keep on keeping on. With Snake is what I was gonna say. 10% banishment is actually slightly better than I was expecting. Mornstar protection is better than distortion. 10%. Am I willing to risk that? What's your health total? 80? No, 104. So that's going to be a little bit to take you down. And stone arrows and lightning bolts are also going to hurt. I think we just leave. But I don't mind potentially staying in Snake for the time being. At the end of the day, if we're kind of out of sight from Louise, or we can kind of dodge around corners, Fulminant Prism might do us well. Oh, we also... Wait a second. You have no poison resistance, right? What were your... What armor were you wearing? I don't believe so. That looks like standard plate. So maybe I actually almost could have gone straight for a Mephitic Cloud play there instead, but that is a-okay. Instead, let's just make a bunch of noise over here. And then we can always retreat up the stairwell if we start getting overrun, especially with IMB to make sure constriction isn't a factor in restricting our ability to escape. Hello, Snake? No? You're not coming to the loud banging noises? You're gonna act like real animals now instead of dungeon denizens? Or you didn't have any fights with toads in the temple? You fell asleep listening and that was your dream? Anyway, if I didn't fight temple toads and I come across any, run. Take your word for it. That's good to know, because I don't even think we explored our temple here, so that might just have been a little bit of foreshadowing, a bit of a prophetic dream that you had. So do not go into temple. The temple toads will ruin my day. Good to know. Always nice to know when things that aren't normally in the game will suddenly appear. So thank you, Safed. I appreciate the warning. Always looking out for us, making sure we're coming through here in one piece. Or at least doing your best to. Do you know what? I will take a box of beasts. Thank you very much. That's like all of our money, but that is probably worth it overall. Boomerangs can go for the moment. Very much a holdover from the earlier parts of the run. Oh wow, we can just straight up fight regular Naga. How about that? Still pretty far away from Louise. I also need that extra space so that we can push the constrictors off of us. There we go. No, we might have been far enough away not to wake you, so let's just drop an exclusion for now, and that way we can auto-explore in peace without having to be too concerned at any given opportunity. Ooh, do you know what? Salamanders also are weak to poison. Definitely don't really want to tumble with a Spell Viper, but we should be able to make it through no problem, and we do indeed see that to be the case. Fantastic stuff here. Definitely not too bad overall. Much better than how many snakes have gone in the past, and a heck of a lot better than how Shoals started today. Jeez Louise. Wait, is there no... This is probably the pathway to Louise, so let's just block that for now. You know what? I'm not too obsessed with going that way either, so let's just explore the rest of this level, and we can leave her alone in her corner for now. Maybe come back when we have a little bit more resistance up our sleeve. Willpower to be specific. Otherwise, we can kind of just be happy with where we're at, I believe. Yeah, fantastic. And as soon as the File of Floods is charged, we'll have to make another little bit of a judgment call here for just whether we want to go immediately fight Nicola so that it has a chance to recharge before the next horrifying unique that's ready to ruin our day. Yeah, one more should almost pay for itself. In fact, more than paid for itself. Thank you, Vehement. I appreciate your magical supplying of my needs. John, let's take you upstairs. Nope. There we go. Second try. Perfect. And there we go. That should be much better. Fantastic. Making a bit of noise, but that is a-okay. I was trying to avoid doing so at the bottom of the stairs so we didn't draw too much of a crowd, at least not more than we could handle. But at the top stairs, on the opposite side of the level from Louise, that's a little bit more manageable. Ignore polymorph ones for now. Scroll of Silence. Oh, do I want you? You almost killed me, yet at the same time you probably saved my life. I guess we're not really using our Staff of Conjuration anymore. Let's just drop it for now. It's nice to get a little bit of extra spell power on your Conjuration spells, but at the end of the day, we have a lot of good stuff that we get out of the Falchion here. Again, as was mentioned in the chat, it is almost as good as the Elemental Staff this Falchion, which is wild. Let's make a bit of noise here. Feeling a little bit more secure in our current standing. Hello, my electrical friend. I'm so used to coming through areas of the game without our electricity just because that has been, like, the majority of our characters as of late have found no sources whatsoever by this stage in the game. So that's lovely. Why am I OTRing? That's not lovely. In fact, that's quite the opposite. It's very silly of me, but there we go. We also haven't been using Freezing Cloud at all. I guess I probably should, since this is the whole reason we learned that spell, was for making it through Snake. That makes sense. You also just tackled a D15 Ice Cave and it had a Shard Shrike. Oof. Yeah, that's probably the worst Ice Cave that you can possibly run into, is this Shard Shrike ending one. Absolutely brutal. I mean, it's one of those creatures that I usually, on a good day, don't end up seeing in the entirety of a run. Occasionally we'll see them in like certain vaults and Zot and stuff like that. But it's a good day if you go through it without having to come face to face with the Shard Shrike at any moment in time. So I feel for you there. Always a rough one. Hello, my tyrant friend. And this is a bit more what we're suited for, even weakness not being at all a big deal on this character, so that's fantastic. And we can just poison all of our new friends. Definitely should be in statue form just to make sure that we have some extra survivability, and then... You know what, this probably pretty much kills you two, so that's worth it. And then we'll just take you two upstairs. And that too will be worth it. Fantastic. The poison coming in as soon as our statue form ended, but a-okay all in all here. Also don't know why I decided to tab fight that Naga Shaman. Whoopsie daisies. Maybe not the best plan that I've ever put into action, but all's well that ends well. What do I wish to do with you folks? We've pretty much cleared the level, so now I can kind of afford to start making some noise. Who detonated that? Who did this? Yeah, Shaman needs to die, so I'm happy to do that. And then the rest of these buddies are slow as dirt. So we can kind of just cheese them out if we so desire. I guess doing this, ending transformation, and then running is probably our best bet against the warrior. Might as well just give us some extra ground here. We're not really at risk by any stretch, so that's fantastic to me. And that should do it. Beautiful. Even the zombie strikes are insane. Yeah, I'd say that all the strikes are definitely terrifying. I mean, caustic strikes have also been the cause of death for many a promising character, especially if you find them slightly too early, or slightly earlier than you expect in ruins, or depths? That's what that place is called. But yeah, I find shard strikes the worst just because I never expect them since they're so rare, and so it always catches me by surprise, and I will oftentimes kind of hold resist cold in the lowest regard out of a lot of the resistances in the game. Whether that's justified or not is another question. So in a sense, they're just more terrifying because of the frequency of them or the lack therein. But I can definitely wholeheartedly agree that any strike is a bad strike. The only good strike is a dead one. And let's see here. I guess we can kind of ping at you with Wand of Fire. Okay, I was expecting that to just hold us over until we got enough mana for another LRD, but I'll take it. Lovely. What else have we got? Friends. Quite a few constrictors, but that should be fine all in all. Especially if I'm able to throw out a nice old fulminant prism, that would be lovely. Even putting one up here is actually probably not a bad idea because we'll be shoving enemies back into it potentially. Did I almost blow that up? No, my spells don't reach that far. But there she is. Beautiful. It's one way to kill a bunch of snakes in record time. Love to see it. And now that we've made a decent amount of noise, I'm just going to retreat my little butt up here. Try and get in a slightly safer position for healing up. Fantastic. You have less PTSD for shard strikes since they're pretty soft under Firestorm, and you'd usually have it when you see them. That's fair enough for sure. Yeah, caustic strikes are a pain in that regard because they don't have any of that elemental weakness, so instead you just have to be strong enough. It's just a single check. Or rather, it's not the single check of do you have fire, then you win, but instead a multitude of things that you have to have, multitude of conditions that you have to have under your wing in order to feel the potential for success. I will just magic map immediately, I think, on coming down to Snake 4 here. So I would like to just quickly block off all the access to there. And another unique. Hello, Vajna. I mean, we don't have to worry too much about silencing. You had Mind Burst? Yeah, unfortunately not quite enough for handling the Shard Strike on its own. That's a rough shot. And you always hope that you'd have like 3 pips of cold resistance, but that's generally also not too applicable, unfortunately. But what do I do with you, Vajna? I can kind of cheese them with fulminant prisms. The only issue there is you generally want enough space to work with to make that a reality. At least you can only blink enemies away, right? You don't blink us close. You do have blink other. And we don't know where that will put us. Because the other side of it here is that we could try and just stay out of range the whole time. and drop off a bunch of these bad boys. But I don't know how incredible I feel about that strategy. Alternatively, we could just get suited up at the top of the stairs here, head down in full battle regalia, and use a bunch of our evocables, hoping that we don't need them in the future. Like, Condenser Vein can wait until we have the crowds of the End Vault in our face, but Box of Beasts, even File of Floods we could throw out there just for some extra insurance. 2 pips of cold resistance and luck, and it worked. Love to hear it. Well, I'm glad you made it out safe. I was worried that we were talking about a tragedy after the fact, a bit of a post-mortem, but I'm glad that they made it through. And unfortunately, not quite low MR on Vajnia. Definitely not low enough for me to feel comfortable with relying on, like Fear. We could, I guess, try Zom's chess piece even, and just hope for some good effects, but I'm always a little bit sketchy in that regard, or feel a little bit less than ideal. Do I wish to waste an attempt with my evocables? Just have to ask myself this, because they will take a bit to recharge, and we definitely want them for taking care of some critters on the Shoals side of things. We're not immediately surrounded by Guardian Serpents, so I feel like finishing Snake is probably actually a good bet before I head back to Shoals, because the Javelineers will hurt a heck of a lot, and there's not much we can do in that regard, besides just try and outkill them. Just kill them before they can kill us, which is not always the best strategy. Well, probably do want to fight you. Oh, I see. With they have low MR, you were talking about the Shard Strikes. They have 2 pips, and it was a 50% shot with the Mind Burst for 11 Evo. Sorry for the misunderstanding on my end. Definitely not the first, nor even close to the last time that'll happen, I'm sure. Let's see. I kind of want to just maybe put up some ice here. I'm slightly concerned at how much damage these buddies are outputting just on their own, but if I can kill some of the coterie before dealing with Vajnia themselves, I feel like that is enough of an advantage in its own right. Unfortunately, does not seem to be the case, so I think I will just retreat out of there with my skin intact, and let's try out another stairwell. See if we can't maybe try and lure off 1 or 2 of these bad boys on their own. Can definitely lead things just back up the stairs so we can blast them quickly instead of having to go through the risky fights. That's lovely. And of course, we're now back to needing some training. I guess shields is probably a good spot to go here. We have that Shield of Reflection. Wait a second, we're fighting Vajnia. We have a Shield of Reflection upstairs. Is there anywhere else I'd rather go for the moment to just get some experience under our belt? We could fight Nicola on Shoals 1. That's possible. We could also just go back and fight Jorgrun with the File of Floods right now. And that gives us an entire dungeon floor to explore. So that seems kind of nice, no? Take me away, game. And perfect. I'm actually going to have to take just a quick 30-second break here. Run, grab some food for my dog, fill her bowl, and then we'll be right back to try and take down Jorgrun in one piece. Don't go anywhere, I'll see you in just a second. dokie. With that out of the way, we can now continue to pursue our dreams here in the dungeon. Oh wait, this is not, never mind, this is not the right stairwell. Let's try that one more time. And now we can freely pursue our dreams here in the dungeon. Perfect. Exactly the face I wanted to see. We immediately file Floats You. That puts us in a half-decent spot. And you know what, let's throw some stuff at this problem. Hearing some angry buzzing noises. Yeah, Box of Beasts, just so we have some extra insurance here. Follow that up with one of these bad boys. And is there anything else I wish to do to you, Jorgrun? I guess we want to be in statue form, and I might as well try and confuse you a wee bit. That seems baseline intelligent. Lovely. Okay, the Cyclops can hit for a decent chunk of change. You're not poison resistant, are you? I mean, at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world to send you off this way. You know what? I will risk poisoning you a bit. I'm sorry, my friend. These things just had to be done. And quickly blast there. And just the Cyclops shouldn't be too much trouble, I hope. Maybe I should have meffed you real quick just to make sure. Oh, and Elroka's here too. What's your chance of banishing me? 3%? Okay, that's not too bad. And you should die in 1 or 2 shots here, so that's just fine and dandy. That's the type of unique you expect to find on D12, not Jorgrun. So that is absolutely fantastic and lovely. I appreciate it. Let's keep poisoning up the room here. Definitely stay in statue form for when the slimes start catching up. And yeah, if we can split the slimes, that's actually ideal. Beauty. And once again, fantastic. Belchin is definitely making its bid for value here quite well. Appreciate that. And statue form is just absolutely incredible. This was the pack. Oh, never mind. We didn't fight Azrael. We just fought a normal Ifrit. Hello, Azrael. Apparently, D12 was the floor of uniques. I'm very glad that we initially skipped over this entire area, because it would have been an absolute nightmare to face this. What was that, like 4? Maybe even 5 or 6 experience levels ago, and definitely didn't have quite the repertoire of spells under our own belt, so less than ideal is potentially a little bit of an understatement in that regard. Let's take, again, some of the bodyguard retinue upstairs with us, split it off from the unique themselves, and I'll even switch which stairs we go down so that we can potentially re-engage with Azrael under slightly more beneficial circumstances on our own side of things. Like not having a Hydra potentially coming out of the woodwork mid-fight. That would be good. Hey, Hydra pal? Holy moly, you didn't see us, bud? Okay. Well, when you do die quickly, you're susceptible to cold too, so like one of these is pretty incredible. Follow that up by shoving you back into the cold cloud. That seems nice. And add an LRD to the equation, and you got yourself one fried and cooked Azrael. Fantastic. No damnation to worry about. Always a good one in that encounter in particular, because it can be a rough shot at things when you start getting blasted for completely irresistible damage. But no dice for our lovely genie friend today, and a second a Broll of Slinking. Or Slinking, I guess it would be. But no, Scroll of Blinking. Let's try and actually order our constants correctly. Having just the Moth of Wrath be a constant problem is bad enough for me. I don't need multiple things in the game to completely throw a wrench into my ability to speak cohesively whatsoever. But absolutely fantastic. Now clear through the rest of the floor with relative ease here. everything much more manageable than what we've been seeing so far in the S branches, even going as far as to stupidly face a Cyclops in hand-to-hand combat for no reason whatsoever. Just another Manic Monday, and lovely. That should just about do the trick. Tengu can be taken down. Ooh. Frost Giants out in the overworld now. Again, happy I didn't find you initially when we were coming through here, because geez Louise. I would have had no cold resistance and would have been like at 70 hit points total and just immediately gone one shot by a Frost Giant. I don't know about you, but that sounds less than ideal for me, shall we say. Do you know what? While you're confused, I might start running away. Unfortunately, we don't actually get it. With our 1 pip of cold resistance, the max you can deal, friend, is like 37, 38 damage, depending on how the rounding works. So technically not in one-shot range. There is the Buckler of Cold Resistance. That's a very good pull, Eggly. You're not wrong. So I'm just going to read Teleport. We can survive 1 hit. We should be able to survive a 2nd hit. So I think I will just take one more step, head to our stairs, and let's check out that Buckler and see how it does. So 4% on statue form is our worst failure rate at the moment. And where does this bring us? Up to 6? That's nothing. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, those resistance are looking absolutely lovely these days. Well, in that case, feel slightly more comfortable with trying to work some magic here. We can just keep dropping Fulminant Prisms and even walking away from life's problems, and right, Freezing Cloud is not going to do anything to you. Don't know why my brain went there for a brief moment. Instead, let's just throw down another one of those. Classic. Come on, don't stumble out of it this time. Also, don't do that. Is that a Reaver? It must be, right? Oof. Well, drop this at our entrance. You don't have poison resistance, do you, my friend? You have cold resistance and the Buckler of Reflection. That is all fine by me. You're also not getting confused, and that is not fine by me. So we're getting pretty close to one-shot range on that son of a gun. I think we just take some steps back, and is this worth the risk? Yes, let's try and kill at least one of these buddies before it keeps cascading out of control. And then for you, my friend, Box of Beast probably doesn't do a heck of a lot, but you know, it puts a body in the way, which is good for 1 turn. Hurrah! If I had 5 magic, we could finish you off with 1 more LRD. Guess as is, we can just use one of these. Use another one of these. It's worth it just to take care of the Reaver. And fantastic. No problems whatsoever there. I do want this Buckler of Reflection, though. What are my spells? Seems like we're using pretty low-level ones, given that we're level 16. So yeah, you can take a quick look here. Largely just have basic spells, and in terms of what we have available to us, largely summoning. Pretty much all of our high level stuff we're given with summoning, a little bit of necromancy, some hexes as well, but I'm still holding out for the big guns here, unfortunately, which I mean ideally wouldn't be too long here. I didn't look actually. Oh my gosh, Behemoth, you beautiful boy, you. I guess more gender neutral with the majority of deities in this. Orb Destruction, yes. Also available. That's important. Very important distinction to make. Orb Destruction looks great. Yeah, I didn't even realize that we got it offered from Behemoth. That is incredible. Definitely want one of those bad boys in our oeuvre here. And now I would really like Spellforge Servitor. I think that's going to be the next big ticket item on the agenda here. Right, I did want this. See Invisible Ring can go since our artifact currently does that. And you, friend, I should definitely go statue form. It's 6%, right? Well, that's a bummer to fail that twice in a row. It's probably worth doing again, but now I'm left unsure of myself. Instead, just blast some of these sons of guns, and I might as well blast right on top of you. Take some time to heal up. We got a little bit mutated there. Magical capacity is low. Not the end of the world, but definitely not ideal. Might have to try and do some roulette rolling in the future to get rid of that, but for now, let's just keep it going here. And Orb of Destruction actually probably would have been the right start to this fight. Now it's just going to keep hitting the wall if I had to bet, but there we go, we get the kill. Fantastic. And, ooh, they're in court. Cold resistance, a little bit of slain. I mean, it's not horrible. Both my artifact rings right now are very nice, though. In fact, if we just go to put on to get a nice representation of them. The wizardry is helping us get over our shield issues as well, so that's very nice. I guess Amulet of Reflection we could drop for now. Pick up this ring just in case we need that extra pip of cold resistance in a more timely fashion than we've been able to achieve thus far. That seems good. Can leave enchant weapon scrolls lying around since we're currently pretty happy with this artifact. And there we go. So Box of Beasts is inert because we had to use that for this floor, but Vial of Floods is back. And Condenser Vein 2. I want to go try and fight Vajnia or Nicola. Vajnia is probably actually slightly more manageable, though the nice thing about Nicola, of course, is that they're completely neutered by silence for the most part, as long as you have enough defenses to kind of defend against their usually electric branded rapier. But has more health, and if things go poorly, has a bit more of a chance to immediately blow me up. If I switch over to the Buckler of Reflection, that puts me up to 8 shielding with Reflection Brand. How's our shield skill coming? It's a chugging. It's coming along. And also check the power on our Orb of Destruction out of curiosity. Because that's the other thing to take into account, is we now have Orb of Destruction to help take care of uniques.